questions.
Well, I think we should nip this in the butt and move on to our
Wait,
episode.
what?
Huh?
Nip it in the what?
Butt? Am I saying that wrong?
We might as... Oh, crap! Hold on.
Oh my gosh.
Did you just poop your pants?
Hold on, guys. Hold on.
What is going on?
Welcome to the Only Stupid Questions podcast, where we ask the questions that may be too stupid to ask. I'm Brandon.
I'm Bobby.
And I'm Matt.
Only stupid questions.
Hey, good to see you guys.
It's great to see you in person, live and in person.
I'm
It
touching
has been
North
both of you.
Carolina.
like a year.
Yeah, long time. Did you miss us?
Incredible.
I don't think that's very convincing.
I thought it was sincere.
Hey,
I
I'm out here without my family, just hanging out with y'all.
All right.
So,
Doesn't get any better.
That's fair. That's fair.
I mean, I picked you for my extended vacation.
That's
weekend.
great.
You got the mountains and the heat. It's great, isn't it?
You know, I always thought it was hotter where I live now. But this dry heat, I used to say the humidity was hotter. But outside, like, I felt my bald head, like, cooking.
Oh, okay. As much as it is right now under the neon light. Look at this sign, man. That's awesome,
That's
right?
impressive. Where did you get that?
What a great
Got it
sign.
online. LED, baby.
I love it. Well, I think we should nip this in the butt and move on to our
Wait,
episode.
what?
Huh?
Nip
What?
it in the what?
Butt? Am I saying that wrong?
I think you're saying that wrong.
That's a really dumb question. That's
Hey.
a stupid question.
Don't insult me.
All right. Well, since you said it, we might as... Oh, crap! Hold on.
Oh my gosh.
Did you just poop your pants?
Hold on, guys. Hold on.
What is going on?
Oh, my
What'd
ham.
you do? Grab
My
him
hammy,
under the
my
table
hammy.
or something?
How did you pull a muscle sitting?
It's so bad. Hold on.
Wow. Oh. Get in some pickle juice.
Oh.
You need some pickle juice? Seriously? I mean, that's
You
what
need a
athletes
massage?
Oh, my
use,
gosh.
right?
You guys, I'm cramping.
Oh my
Look at...
gosh. Get him some pickle juice.
Oh.
Run upstairs and grab him some pickle
No,
juice.
dude, just...
Yeah, don't die on the first episode.
Oh,
Save it for at least the fifth.
We seriously have pickle juice.
the hammy,
Some pickle
man.
juice.
The
What
hammy.
they use. The
Pickle
football
juice help with cramps?
Game. Allegedly. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm not a
I love
footballer.
it.
Get you some electrolytes.
Oh, the hammy. The hammy. How do you pull a hammy on a podcast?
Well,
can you guys
It's the
explain
first
that?
time for everything.
You know, I've had some chair injuries myself, but I am fat and misshapen. You are
Thank you
in
to the
shape.
thank you, producer Riley, for hooking it up with some electrolytes. Oh my gosh,
And we're back.
And we're back.
Without the
that was such a stupid question, Bobby. That I pulled.
Yeah, you like
I pulled
convulsed.
I pulled a hammy. Oh man, I'm glad you.
Do we need to get up and stretch? Do some calisthenics
Glad,
before?
oh man,
Calisthenics?
Calisthenics?
did he say that wrong too?
Am I saying that wrong too?
Calisthenics?
The episode
Is
is
calisthenics?
on fire.
I don't know. Something isn't ringing right with what you're saying.
Calisthenics.
Calisthenics.
We need to tackle some of these, man. Oh, what a way to start the series, the podcast.
Yeah.
Only stupid questions.
So,
Well, I've got a story for you since you asked such a dumb question.
Okay.
You ready for this?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm going to try and paint a scene, a picture for you here. All right. So,
all right, be careful
so
as
close,
you lead into
so
it.
close your eyes. This might get intense.
Just go slow.
Okay. Well, picture this. In a dog world, Bobby, Brandon, and Matt are chomping at the bit to drum up some business. They've made a 360-degree turn in their lives and are ready to nip it in the butt. Case in point, we are ready to offer amazing content because it's the least we could do. For all intensive purposes, they will tackle the hunger pains their listeners have and the burning questions that they may have as well. Your point is mute, they declare, because in their studio, it's not about being right. It's about being confidently incorrect. So sit back, relax, etc., and enjoy the show.
Nice.
That was well written.
Yeah, it was well
Thank
written.
you.
AI.
Did it paint a picture for you or not?
I was still
Right.
envisioning you pulling your hammy. So.
I am still feeling it. I can't believe that happened. So thanks to Bobby's really dumb question, I think let's and that little story that I just told, I say we dive into a lot of the idioms or sayings that people get wrong. Am I saying it correctly? I think it was your exact question.
Yeah, I always feel like it's too late to ask if I'm saying it right or wrong.
And sometimes, I think, Matt, you mentioned this in our off-air conversation, sometimes we'll find ourselves in some pretty professional settings, and it sticks out like a sore thumb.
It sure does, especially when you get somebody in an executive committee position telling you that it's a mute point.
Oh,
instead of.
Should we start there?
Yeah, let's start there.
What is a mute
Well, it's
point?
a quiet point, I guess. But
I like it when
moot
people.
point, right?
Maybe what he was saying is your perspective is not valued, so that's a mute point, as in keep it quiet.
Huh. So mute.
Oh my gosh.
Go on mute. In this day and age of Zoom
Maybe.
and...
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, I was on mute. Is that what he means?
That's his mute point.
Oh, that's his muted point.
That is a mute.
I
But
think that's a cop out, though. Whenever somebody says, "Oh yeah, I was talking on mute," no, you weren't.
No,
you
weren't.
were zoned out, or you were doing something else.
You
and
were,
you got busted.
You were chopping some
usually.
fruit. You
Yeah.
were being a fruit ninja for a second. I don't know if people even still play that game, but
What the heck are you talking about?
Fruit
Yeah.
Ninja. Fruit Ninja?
I think
Anybody?
I've heard of it.
Anyway, stop it.
Well, let's nip it in the bud.
I'm cool. I'm cool, guys. You just don't know. So moot is in fact the correct use of that saying.
What is moot?
So moot is commonly used to refer to something that is irrelevant, insignificant, or impractical.
Is it really commonly used? Because
It's the original saying, Bob. That's
It's
all I
pretty-
can tell you.
It's pretty well used.
is it common anymore to say moot?
Well, I wouldn't say common, but you do hear it.
I hear the saying, but I don't hear people use the word moot
Hmm.
outside of the saying.
So the goal now is for this next week, let's use the word moot
And
as
just
much as possible.
Look at people's reactions.
And just see if people.
The
take
only
it.
way I know how to use it is that's a moot point.
Okay. Your point is moot?
Can you use moot in another sentence?
It's in a
I
song.
am not in a spelling bee,
What
sir.
song? Sing it.
It's in that Josie's on a vacation.
Far away.
I wanted to tell her, but the point is moot.
Okay.
Again, the same sentence. The
Right.
point is moot.
The point is moot.
Isn't
How
that
do you
Jesse's
use
girl?
moot outside of that
Oh,
sentence?
you're right.
It's Jesse's girl, I
Yeah.
think you're saying.
I
Yeah.
like Jesse's
Is that a
girl.
different song than what I was just pointing out?
Yes.
Same era. Okay.
I just want to lose your love tonight. That's a different
Oh,
song.
that's right.
Different song. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jesse's girl.
The outfield.
But the point is moot. That's a great callback. Nice lyric.
Yeah, there you go.
Anyway, it is weird, but it is often misused. It is absolutely incorrect to use mute. Guys, how do you feel about that?
Well, I've always said that's a moot point.
Okay.
Like, I think I have used that one correctly.
You've nailed it.
Me
Okay.
too.
I have heard many people say it's a mute point, though.
Okay. Well, guys, I could care less.
Thanks for caring.
You
That's another
couldn't
one.
care
So
less.
you couldn't care
I'm
less. is
glad
the
you do
proper-
care.
All right. But I could care less. I hear it all the time, right? I could care less.
What's
that
it going
that
to
happened.
take to get you to care less?
Well, why don't you care more, please? Yeah. Yeah, so it's I could not care any less, right? I can't go any lower than
Care.
right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, you hear it all the
I
time.
couldn't
Say I
care
could
less.
care less.
This one I do mess up quite often, and my wife calls me out on it all the time.
As she should.
I'm going to use it as a compliment to whatever somebody says. I could care less. I could go lower, but I'm not. I'm going to stay exactly where I am.
Exactly. When I do use it wrong, I own it.
Okay.
And I'm
All
like,
right.
no, I really could care less. I'm choosing not to.
And before you go too far, you got to nip it in the butt.
Yeah. Is that not the right saying? Nip it in the
so
butt?
Bobby, let's get into it.
Let's nip it in the bud. Come on, everyone knows.
Bud just sounds dumb.
No, it doesn't.
It's nip it in the butt.
No, that sounds dumb. Because it's wrong. It's not nip it in the butt. What? In
I
the
hear
butt?
everyone say nip it in the butt.
The expression is nip it in the bud.
That's right.
Nip it in the butt.
It means to put a quick end to something.
Yeah.
The phrase comes from the garden, but has branched out. Pun intended.
Obviously.
When a leaf or flower is beginning to form, it's just a little bud. And if you nip it or cut it, then it won't grow. You nip it in the bud before it grows out of control, right?
Right.
So it's a pruning technique.
Yeah.
Horticulture. I'm sorry, Bobby, but I think you're right. More people nip it in the butt. Why is it?
People like
I don't
butts.
think people use the word bud
They don't know
in
what bud
everyday
means.
language.
Okay.
And so butt just comes out. Because I did know it's bud. It's easy to not use it, though.
Sure.
And when I've said it correctly, I'll have people say it's butt. No,
So
I'm
you
pretty
put it
sure
the
it's bud.
correct- Oh, well, excuse me. I think people look at it as like, well, a kick in the butt would stop a situation, right? So if you nip it in the butt, it would stop the situation. Like, I think people are using it with the intent that is correct. Like, I want to stop something from happening or going too far, so I'm going to nip it in the butt.
Kick it in the butt
Right.
sounds a little more violent.
Right.
So nip it is a little less than a kick, right?
Yeah, it's less violent. We're trying to be less violent as a society. So, good job.
I think you're just trying to drub up all these extra things.
You're wrong.
Drub?
It's not drub.
Oh, it's not?
What does drub even mean?
Oh, I don't know. Bring up, right?
Isn't it drum? Aren't I trying to drum something up?
Drub it
That's
up.
what it is.
That's
Drub
another.
it up.
That's another one, and that one has been taken over almost completely. The correct term is drub, to drub up something, but it has been completely taken over. Whatever website you look at, it's drum now. People are drumming up business. They're drumming up something. What do you think of that one?
I think that's fine. You don't want to drub something up, then that's fine.
Maybe, and that's where maybe the incorrect usage of something actually became a better usage of something.
Well, how do you drum something up?
I don't know, man.
Because if I'm playing the drums,
Okay.
that's like beating something down.
Okay, John Bonham, keep going.
I agree.
Okay.
I don't understand how you
I hate it either
drum
way.
something up or drub it up.
Yeah, I don't like either one. Let's just move on.
That point is now moot.
It's a
Ca-
mute.
Case
point.
and point.
Keep that point mute.
Oh, case and point.
Case.
Yeah, that one drives me
There's
nuts.
case in point versus case and point.
But what if you have both a case and a point?
A case and a point?
Make them separately. Don't combine them like that.
So which one's right?
Case in point.
Yeah, I think it is case in
Case
point.
in point is in fact the correct usage of that. Case and point, not correct.
Because you're giving essentially a use case for your point.
And it's interesting. Case in point dates back to the 1600s. They've been able to track this in literature all the way back then. To an
Back to your
instance
time,
or
Bobby.
it's an instance or example that supports or is relevant or pertinent to what is being discussed. Mainly, they've seen that in legal documents and general literature. So take that.
Keeping it pertinent.
Yeah, case in point actually feels like it fits in like a trial or something.
But I hear case and point so much.
Me too.
It's everywhere.
Yeah.
It's almost like they do a 360-degree change, guys.
You just got right back to where you started.
Okay, but how often do you hear somebody say, "I've made some changes in my life. I've turned around 360 degrees, guys.
Why didn't you just take the shortcut and not even turn around?
But haven't you heard
no
that
change
before?
was made. Yeah,
haven't you
all
heard
the
that
time.
before? You hear like, and I don't want to make light of people's recovery in life, but they've made some kind of a huge change, and I've turned 360 degrees, guys. But you nailed it, Bobby. You're just
Hey,
right.
Still
reward them
having
for
the
the
same
effort.
So what would be the correct term or the correct usage?
I believe it's 180
Math
degree
is
turn,
hard, but it's
right?
180.
Well, some of us, it might be like
If
a
my math
90
is
degree.
correct,
Ooh, math is hard, but that is right. But luckily, once you get all of that right, it's all downhill from here.
oh, it's all downhill.
Isn't it always all downhill because that's easier?
No, sometimes life's an uphill battle.
Yeah, but sometimes it's all downhill from here.
That's
What-
true.
What is it, good or bad, guys? That's what I want to get to.
Well, I think if you're on a hike,
Okay.
all downhill from here means it's going to get easy.
Okay.
Or it's like the glass is half empty or half full.
Or does it mean it's going to get worse?
It could, like, I am over 40. It's all downhill from here.
Okay. Does that mean it's easier or worse?
Worse. Like sitting down, you pull a hammy.
So this is one where it could be positive or negative. It's technically right however you use it.
So I can
we
use
agree
it.
on that, or do you want to yell at me on that one?
I
I
think it's-
might pull a hammy if you guys come at me too hard.
I think it's all in the context in which you're using
Okay.
it.
Okay.
Agreed.
Yeah, inflection has a lot to do with it. Oh, it's all downhill from here, guys. We're good. Then it's obvious, right? It's going to be easier. But
Well, unless
man, that
the
job went
subject is
well.
different.
That job was good at first, but then, man, I got sick, and it's been all downhill since. Now it's negative. Ah,
Yeah.
okay.
Look how
We feel good about that?
Way
multifaceted
to
this
analyze
is.
that.
Whew. I just thought that was interesting because I've heard people use it both ways.
Good
So,
analysis.
oh, thank you. It's a dog.
Analysis?
It's a dog
Well, it
dog
depends.
world, guys.
Sometimes it is an anal list.
Okay, you guys. Guys, it's a
It's
doggy.
being
doggy
super
dog
deep.
It's a
world.
doggy dog world, guys.
A doggy dog.
Doggy
Is that what you
dog.
said?
It's a doggy dog world, guys.
Isn't it dog eat dog?
Yes, it's dog
Good.
eat dog.
So what's the difference between the two? Which one's right?
Well, doggy dog just sounds kind of fun. Look at those cute doggy dogs.
But that's the one I hear a lot. People say doggy dog world, and they really mean it. But
Dogs eat dogs.
that is where the saying comes from.
Well, dogs like to fight each other,
Yeah.
and
So it's
gross.
they believe,
I don't know if they would actually eat the other dog.
they
but
believe the origin of that saying back to 17th century London, where it was meant that it's a dog eat dog world. You've got to fight
For your right to party.
for your right to live. Right.
I think a dog would eat another dog.
Ew, I hope not, but you're probably right.
Well, why wouldn't they?
Well, why wouldn't another human eat another human?
They have. Have you heard of the Donner Party?
Yes, but that's gross. I'm just saying.
All right.
You don't say it's a human eat human world.
Well, if the three of us went on a hike and we couldn't get out because Brandon pulled his hamstring,
Woof.
and we got real hungry,
Brandon would be the first to go.
Ouch.
would you eat him or starve to death?
I'd probably starve to death first.
I probably would too.
I'm some good eating though, I think.
It's a lot of meat.
I
Just
would
saying.
starve to death first.
Okay.
No offense. I'm just saying.
I'm taking
I
it.
don't know. Lean meat doesn't have as much flavor as the fatty
That's
meat.
right. You gotta
So-
get the fats.
Anyway, so yeah, dog eat dog is the correct one. As opposed to what Snoop Dogg put in all of his lyrics in his 1993 album. He changed that. And they think that some of the youth of today, I guess we're older now, maybe have mistaken that phrase because of the misusage
Snoop
by
Doggy
Mr.
Dogg?
Snoop Dogg. Yeah, Snoop Doggy Dogg, as he once went by.
It's perpetuated.
He literally says it's a dog-e-dog world. So,
Doesn't he have a song called "Give the Dog a Bone"?
oh, he's got many dog puns and uses. Yeah,
He
absolutely.
likes dogs.
And he's best friends with Martha Stewart. Let's move on. So,
Who isn't?
I'm glad that piqued your interest.
So
guys.
it's like the top of the hill
So
of my
what?
interest.
Yeah, what is this peak?
It means it's all downhill from here, Brandon.
Okay,
We've made it to the top.
I think if you were to ask if this was like a let's ask these questions on the street type situation, I think people would so spell peak for me and pique my interest.
P-E-A-K.
I think most
peak.
people would spell it that way, as in the mountain peak.
Yeah.
What it really is, though, is P-I-Q-U-E.
Oh, come. What does that actually mean?
So
Feathers.
the verb to pique, P-I-Q-U-E, means to arouse or stimulate. So you've stimulated interest in something.
Ooh.
Peak, P-E-A-K, is a high point, like a mountaintop.
And P-
But if they're
P-E-E-K.
pronounced the
Peak,
same,
P-E-E-K, is to take a quick look.
but if they're pronounced the same, is anyone truly getting this wrong?
But I don't think so. But if you were to ask them what they think that word is or what it might mean, I think they would use the
Yes, the top of the hill.
the mountaintop. But to peak, it's at the top of my list or it's at the top of my chart. I don't know. Anyway,
You
That-
took it to his most interest of it. That is, I'm going to get into it.
okay. Well, for all intensive purposes, I think we can move on.
Intensive, huh?
Yeah, that's the one I hear a lot at
Yeah,
work.
I don't know. If I
Intensive.
ever hear that
I
one.
hear that one a lot. So
Maybe
it's
from one person.
the correct is intents and purposes
Correct.
versus intensive purposes.
Seems pretty obvious.
Yeah, you'd think.
Mm-hmm.
This long list of words and misspelled things, etc., etc. Guys, I'm just I'm just done with
That's
it.
a good one.
Etc. versus et cetera.
So when the heck is
etc.?
etc. So yeah, I hear that all the time. X. They throw like a CK or an X.
Do you know what else too? And this isn't on your plan here, but now I just lost it. My train of thought.
What plan? We're spitballing here.
Oh shoot! I just totally lost it. This is what happens when you turn 48.
Right?
Are
It's
you that
all
old?
downhill.
Old stuff. You know.
You were born in 1776. Yeah, right.
I just completely lost my train.
Anyway, so
I looked
etc.
down and it left.
As you were thinking about that, et cetera is the correct version of this, abbreviated to ETC or ETCET, is a Latin expression that is used in English to mean and other things or and so forth.
Mm-hmm. And so forth.
Oh,
and
I got it back.
Okay, it's back.
Especially.
Oh, that's a good
that
one.
crap,
That's a good one.
especially.
it's not especially.
No,
It's
Especially.
especially.
but if I ask you,
Especially.
you better tell me.
You darn right. I know all about accent.
Okay,
Question.
I'm glad we're axing this.
Especially.
We're axing the stupid questions here.
People say
So,
that all the time.
especially. Oh, for sure. Yeah,
Especially.
Especially in meetings.
So this all seems like one big magic trick as far as which one you pick. It's almost like a sleight of hand.
Yeah, I think it's sleight of hand.
Oh,
Is it where I'm
slide. What if I
sliding it
slide
out of the
my
way?
hand?
No, I don't think it's slide.
That's a slide of hand, meaning the cards got
I'm
moved.
pretty sure it's slide.
Slide my hand.
Slide.
I thought it was slide my hand in front of
Yeah.
something to make it disappear.
Yeah.
And
It's a slide of hand. The hand slid out of the way.
Which is correct.
it is sleight of hand.
See?
SLEIGHT.
Right.
A slight.
You don't want to
hand.
slight someone.
So not SLIGHT or SLIDE. It's slight. That's interesting.
Slide.
Man, I had no clue on some of this, so thanks, Brandon, for educating me.
Well, it's the least I could do.
You mean you could do more?
Wait,
You
what?
can do more.
Share some more.
Are you coming at me, bro? What
You said it's the least you could do, so did you have more prepared?
isn't that right?
I actually don't know on
Least you
that
could
one.
do?
Let's think that one through. The least I could do. That does seem kind of negative and lazy. Doesn't
I
it?
actually say that one all the time. My wife will be like, "Thanks for doing that." I'm like, "It's the least I could do."
So you could do more?
Well, how is the
I
right
was
way
just
to
gonna
say that?
In your case, it's probably true.
Yeah, you
More
probably
often
could,
than not,
probably could do more.
it's
sir.
the least I could do.
Wow, how thoughtful of you.
Yeah. Is there a better way of saying that one?
I don't,
No, it's just a dumb phrase.
it really is.
Yeah, it's the least I could do.
That's
Well, no, it's the correct way of
Yeah,
saying
yeah.
it, but it's used in the wrong instances, I think. Because you say that when it literally is the least you can do.
Yeah.
Right?
So I did something for someone, and they say thank you. I say, it's the least I could do.
for you.
As in, I could do way more. I chose not to.
That's how they could take it. Because what you really
that's the
mean
negative
is,
spin.
well, at least I could have done that for you. Or see, I'm already screwing it up.
You've done so much for me. It's the least I could do for you.
At least I could do that for you.
Yes.
Like,
at
isn't that how
least.
you mean it? Right?
Yes, at least.
I just think it's a dumb saying,
It really
but
is.
I use it a lot.
You are so dumb. A dumb answer for a dumb question, guys.
Yeah,
that's great. And man, there's so many others. We plan on turning this back to the people. I'd love to hear. I'm sure we missed dozens of these. What
Yeah,
are some
I'm
of the things that you've heard on a consistent basis that really bug you? Incorrect idioms, phrases, usages of these sayings. I'd love to hear what you think. So here is some stupid news to end the episode. You guys ready for this?
Yes.
Stupid news.
Bring
I
it.
love it.
Oh, you got it. And I'm going to invite you to Google or look this up, especially those of you listening at home. If you haven't already seen this, this went viral. So I know you guys have heard of Florida Man, right?
Well, Florida man.
So Florida Man, and then enter a headline, right? Like this time it's Michigan Man. So I want you to Google Michigan Man suspended driver's license. Have you guys heard of this guy?
I have not.
Oh my goodness.
Man with suspended license appears in court While driving.
Yes, I have seen this. This is hilarious.
The craziest video. And it gets better. It gets better. There's been updates to this. So a Michigan man whose court hearing went viral in May when he appeared on Zoom from behind the wheel on a suspended license charge. And so you got to see the judge's face on this one.
No, it's hilarious.
Was he at least stopped?
So
No, he was driving in.
Actively
He's like,
driving.
just a second, I'm pulling in now, or whatever, to this judge.
So the judge realizes, wait a minute, this hearing is for a suspended license, correct, lawyer? Yes, Your Honor. And he's like, oh my gosh.
And the lawyer looks like he's like a ghost, you know? He's like,
Is this
oh my
better than
The defender,
when
yeah.
the lawyer had a cat thing going on, a cat
Okay,
filter?
that's what it's been compared to
That's
as far as
Okay.
how viral this is.
That's
and so the judge, of course, says, okay, sir, turn yourself into the prison by 6 p.m. This is ridiculous. Like, it was just a completely ridiculous video. You got to look it up. And the guy is like very defeated. It's the
he's in shock.
funniest thing.
He's just like, what?
You kind of feel sorry for him.
And
how
you know he
defeated-
made a giant mistake, and he knows he made a giant mistake, and here he is driving in as he's talking to the judge on a suspended license for the suspended license.
So funny. And so what happened a
awesome.
few days later is the public defender claimed that it was due to a clerical error. And so everybody starts defending this guy. Like, he was fine. It was just a clerical error.
So what was the clerical
And so
error?
you should have seen mainstream media the way that they went to this guy's defense. And I was all with it. And then a few days later, after that, more information came out. So his license suspension was in connection with a child support case in Saginaw. The court suspension lift allowed him to resume driving in January of 2022. And so he technically could be driving. That's what came out a few days later.
So this trial was just like super delayed.
Yeah. So here's what came out after that. So after everybody started defending the guy, he actually never had a state license
To begin with. So he got his license suspended for what? Not paying
So
child
here's
support?
what actually happened. There was a little bit of an error. In that state, the state of Michigan, my home state, driving privileges can be restricted or suspended, and they have nothing to do with the actual license itself. And so the court received a notice that his driving privileges were restricted or suspended, not that his license itself was suspended, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So the privilege of driving was suspended, not necessarily the license.
And it's because he didn't pay his child support.
And this was all linked to a previous case that was years ago.
Okay, just
Almost-
pause for a moment.
Right.
Because how does that make any sense? He's not paying his child support, so let's take away his ability to get to work.
Right. That's a whole nother argument.
Some politician really thought that one through.
And so they said, let's make it very clear based upon what the court looked at. He has never had a Michigan license ever and has never had a license in any of the other 49 states.
It's a lot of paperwork to get one.
And so what they have, people don't understand, when they suspend his license in Saginaw, they do not suspend the license. They suspend the privilege to drive in the state. And so they never actually looked at the license. So he did, in fact, not have a license. He was, in fact, driving on a Zoom call with a judge without a license. And so...
So you know what this reminds me of? You guys remember a while back that this guy in Miami appeared in court for a stolen Miami Dolphins jersey, wearing the Miami Dolphins jersey?
How do you know it was the same one?
Do you remember that?
I did see that.
I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
think I ever saw that one.
That was a good
It's
one.
the same thing. It's the same premise. Like, this guy shows up, and the judge says, "So you're here, Mr. So-and-so, for this stolen Miami Dolphins jersey," or whatever. And she's just looking at this guy wearing a Miami Dolphins jersey.
I mean, some things are kind of dumb.
Oh, this was so dumb. And so, again, there's an updated video of him reappearing in court that you also need to watch. So watch the first video first.
It's funny.
Take it all in because it's so funny. And then the second one, the shock on the defense attorney's face this time, when the judge informs the defense attorney he's never had a license. He's staying here.
I feel
And
like
she starts defending herself, basically.
I feel like these are some things that should have been checked into.
Oh.
But if you're the attorney, maybe you should say, "Hey, this is what the trial's about. You know, this might go without saying, but make sure you don't join the Zoom call while you're driving."
Unreal. Yeah.
That's just a good suggestion anyway. You shouldn't take Zoom.
It was
calls
so
while
funny.
driving.
I'm not going to spoil the video, but just how the judge was just like, okay, like being patient on the call and knowing what was about to happen. And anyway, the shock on multiple parties' faces. I think it's worth Googling, worth watching, YouTube it.
Oh yeah,
Look into it.
I mean, now to this guy's credit, like, have you guys ever been forgetful where like you call someone asking them to help you find your phone?
No.
That sounds pretty dumb and stupid to me, but
My wife and I have both done that at times, where we call the other or text them and say, "Have you seen my phone?
Oh man,
What are you texting me on?
maybe we'll see.
Look
on,
in your
We'll
hand."
see on YouTube.
I've
one
asked
day.
my wife several times for where my keys are when they're in my pocket.
Yeah, I've done
Yeah,
that.
I've done that.
Where are my
several
keys?
times.
I can't find my keys. Oh,
Or
Never
where are
mind.
my glasses?
right.
Oh,
They're usually on my hat, like my sunglasses up here. Hey, have you seen my glasses?
That's what happens when you get old.
Yeah.
is that what happens?
Yeah, I mean, cool. Yeah, I'll watch this. Well, that was a cool news story.
Anyway,
Love it.
it was my home state. That one really blew me away, and it went viral twice for two different reasons. So,
You know, that's awesome. Like, someone should start a GoFundMe for that guy to pay his
there
fines.
is
He
there's
doesn't
some
need one.
there's
He's got
some
a video that's gone viral.
There's some sympathy.
Dude
Well,
should get some proceeds from
empathy.
that.
It's probably the court's video, though.
Probably.
So,
Public record.
hey, if a court's video like that goes viral, do they get
I
the
don't
money?
know. I don't know.
Whoever posts it gets the
Yeah,
money.
whoever posts it.
So
And yet we've seen
start posting court
cases.
videos.
We've seen cases like Antoine Dobson, for example.
Yeah, he'd be climbing
The
in your
run,
window.
the run, tell that man. Yeah, somebody else posted his viral video of his interview, and he was able to cash in on that. So maybe this guy will be able to
Hopefully.
do the same, and hopefully he pays the child support.
Well, and
So-
hopefully he just goes and gets his license. I know it's a pain.
Get a license.
I just recently went through it with my 6-year-old son, and you ain't kidding. Like,
It can be tough.
when I got my license, it was like, smile here. Here's a license. But we had to do all kinds of driving hours, and now he's on a limited license, and we have to do another 6 months of supervised driving before he gets his next level of license.
As they should.
They totally should, because people are bad drivers
Especially around
everywhere.
these
But
parts.
I bet this guy just doesn't want to do the paperwork.
Yeah. Or there's something else going on that's preventing him from getting a license. So
Like
we'll
paying
see.
his child support.
We'll see. Right.
Generally, good advice. Get your license before you have children.
That's a smart answer to a dumb question. That's a great way to end it, Bobby. Thank you for that. We'd like to thank everybody for listening to this week's episode on the Only Stupid Questions podcast. And just remember, and don't forget, that the only stupid question is the one that you never ask.
Insightful.
Thank you. Hey, thanks for listening to the Only Stupid Questions podcast. Give us a like and a subscribe. Please leave a review wherever you listen to your podcast. And we'll see you next time.
Only stupid questions.